Hello everyone, and welcome back to some more Shining Song Starnova with me, Phantom Zwei. When we last left off, we had learned a little bit about the secrets that Nimue keeps hidden, about her lineage and what her mama and papa kind of think of her as parading around as a would-be idol. But she kind of freaked out after that, so who knows what's going on with her. Let's continue. Obviously, I couldn't get a wink of sleep after that. I knew Nimue was way too good to be true, but to think I would find myself squarely in the crosshairs of one of the most powerful executives in the entertainment industry because of her. Having the president of Amaterasu Television as an enemy was clearly no way to begin my tenure as an idol producer. In fact, that sort of thing could spell the end of my career. I rubbed my face, trying to wipe off the feeling of impending doom from my mind. I heard a knock on my door. I opened it and saw a familiar face.
Producer-san?
Akimoto-san. I tensed up again. Is something the matter? No, I merely came to apologize. I'm sorry, Producer-san. I've caused you a great deal of problems because of my irresponsible behavior. Please do not concern yourself anymore. My father has smoothed over the situation with my mother, and I shall do whatever necessary to make amends for my mistakes. No. Anyways, look at me. I'm not even ready for work yet. Sorry, but can you wait until I'm cleaned up? Of course, Producer-san. What was I doing, talking to a girl while still in my pajamas? I rushed into the washroom and cleaned myself up. I walked to the agency with Nimue. She just walked to his apartment? Okay. I'm just glad your father showed up and let us go. Has your mother always been opposed to letting you become an idol? Unfortunately, that is so. To my mother, idols are merely lowbrow entertainers who arouse the masses with sexual titillation. She fears my participation in the idol industry will bring about embarrassment to her own position as president of her television network. Well, otaku-oriented entertainment used to be taboo in the past, but now it's mostly accepted as part of the entertainment industry. As a leading figure in that sector, shouldn't your mother know all about the career opportunities opened up by becoming a successful idol? Even after a top idol's retirement, they go on to become well-known television personalities or join management roles themselves. I'm sure your mother must be aware of all this. In fact, with such an impressive familial connection inside the industry, you really could become a top idol. What reason does your mother have to prevent you from following your dreams? I'm afraid my mother is a prideful woman who has a limited notion of what constitutes honor. She would rather that I pursue a more traditional line of profession. Alright, I understand. For now, I'll keep you out of any risky jobs until your home situation improves then. I apologize for my failures. No. I'm sure I can find you more wholesome work. Idols do more than gravure, We arrived at the office. Then let's work hard. We still have to debut live. Understood, Producer-san. By the time we arrived, the other girls were already at the office. Oh, it's Producer-san and Nimue. Is there something we should be aware of, Oni-chan? Arriving late, arm in arm with a girl after telling me to moderate myself. You sure have guts, Producer-san. No. Come on, everyone, don't tease Producer-san like that. Okada-sensei entered the office with a trolley bearing a large cardboard box, interrupting the discussion. The girls simultaneously stood at attention and bowed. Good morning, President Okada. Good morning, ladies. It appears that your uniforms for the live have arrived. The girls crowded around the box in anticipation for the big reveal. Okada-san cut the box open and pulled out a clear bag containing the top half of the uniform. There we go. Okada-sensei. I was legitimately surprised. The uniforms looked professionally tailored, fit for a multi-million yen idol production. For a small agency like ours, Okada-sensei must have pulled some serious strings to get his hands on these. These are actually pretty good. They really look like what professional idols wear. Of course they do. We're professional idols, aren't we? It's happening. At last, we have acquired the fabled garb of the ancients. With these in our hands, the victory of the knight's forces is all but assured. Let's have a dress rehearsal today. I want to wear them right away. Alright everyone, change into your uniforms and report for practice. Counting tomorrow's final leaflet distribution session, there's only 2 more days of practice left before the live. Let's all do our very best. Alright, look at Natan. I'm a real idol now. So this is their outfit. Just like, I think they were this on the title screen? I think so. You're not an idol until you properly debuted, Natan. Behold, the power of my song. I'm surprised it's not too tight around my chest. Well, they look nice, but aren't they a little curvy? I guess service is part of being an idol too. You better start drinking less and eating more greens if you want to rock the frock, One-sama. Just you wait until your metabolism slows too. It really feels like everything's coming together, doesn't it? Everyone, let's practice hard the last 2 days and make the live a huge success! The girls panted, doubled over on the dance studio after a long day of practice. Good work, everyone. No, this isn't good enough. We got to practice more. Impossible. Let's call it a day. The whole last-minute plot twist where one of us gets an ankle sprain during the last practice has to sit the live out is something I never want to experience again. Mariah sure had such a cliché idol career, eh? What do you know? It was a big problem, okay? We cried because of it. People's lives were on the line. Don't worry, Natan will catch you if you take a dive in the middle of practice. Do you not say such ominous things out loud? Aki-chan, let's not overdo it. Mariah's right that we don't want anyone getting hurt right before the live. Well, I guess so. But you all better do your best to hand out the rest of the flyers tomorrow. There will be punishment if there are still any flyers left. Punishment? Hoo-hoo, you better prepare yourself. Whatever. Let's just call it a day for now and work hard tomorrow. I walked down from the office to bid the girls goodbye. Once again, a black Century car was parked beside the agency. My lady, please get in. Thank you for coming here, Fitzgerald-san. Is something the matter? No. My father merely sought to look after my safety by arranging transportation home after practice. Alright, let me know if something comes up. Okay? Nimue shut the sedan's door and it was driven off. Is there something wrong with Nimue? Isn't it obvious? You can't get that rich without attracting trouble. That was just Nimue's protection detail. I saw a rich girl get kidnapped and held for ransom in a Yakuza movie once. You suppose any of that's real? Everyone, please do not treat Nimue differently just because she's from a wealthy family. You know, something about her always seemed off to me. Aki crossed her arms and thought to herself. Well, I'm sure it was nothing. Oi, you can't just say something like that and expect us not to be curious. Do you know something about her? I didn't really mention it, but a week ago I happened to see inside of her purse while she was busy with the leaflet distribution. And you know what I saw inside? A huge, dangerous-looking knife, that's what. That's pretty dicey, isn't it? Why would a girl like Nimue have a knife in her purse? Like I'm saying, her father's pretty loaded, isn't he? Maybe he has a bunch of enemies who would love to snatch away his daughter and make an example of her. Mariah let the dark silence hang in the air. Well, I hear that a majority of crime nowadays is non-violent, but you never know what might happen to a woman in the city. Or maybe the knife's just for peeling the skin off an apple. Well, something about her never smelled right to me. Isn't it strange, just how perfect she is? Could it be that Julie's jealous? No way! I'm just saying, there's no way that girl doesn't have a few skeletons in her closet. Huh. Just don't think too highly of me when it turns out that she's actually a total nutjob. I broke up the girls' circle. Girls, you shouldn't gossip about your fellow team member. Okay. The girls pretended to behave and innocently dispersed. While every idol group had its grapevine, sometimes those vines could grow into sinister tentacles if left unchecked, and wrap themselves around a girl and just... Wait, what the hell was I thinking? Seriously. I shook any images of tentacle vines coiling themselves around Nimu's assets from my mind, and dutifully returned to the office. To go surf my computer for tentacle porn, apparently. However, the next day, Nimu was notably late to work. Nimu's running late, huh? How unusual. Usually she gets here before me. I looked at my cell, anxiously wondering if I would get a message from her. Could this be the work of kidnappers after all? Idiot. Mariah was just joking around. You know something about this? Well, by now it was obvious that something had happened to Nimu. If she was forced to quit working as an idol by her mother, then this could affect everyone in Starnova. Now that it had come to this, I had no choice but to inform the other girls of the gist of the situation. So Nimu might not be able to debut as an idol? You're shitting me! And you didn't even tell us this until now? Producer-san, this is a huge problem. If she's not going to be able to perform for the live, then how are we supposed to change our dance choreography? I raised my hands to calm the girls down. Well, we don't know 100% what's happened yet. Anyways, I only learned about this the day before yesterday myself, so I'm still just as shocked as all of you. Excuse me. To be struck with such misfortune at this pivotal hour. Has the Night Lord abandoned us? Everyone, we can't let uncertainty break our resolve. There's still time until the live. I'm sure Nimu will contact us. We've all been through too much together for her just to disappear. The girls looked shaken by the unexpected turn of events. Natan stood. Pekan's got a point. Besides, there's still 6 of us. We can't give up now, when the live's just 2 days away. Who said anything about giving up, you dork? Of course we're still going to have our performance, with or without Nimu. Huh. If the rest of you are going to give up so easily, then I'll just have a solo debut. Everyone, cheer up. I'm sure Nimu will come back in time for the live. There's no reason to believe anything's been decided. Well, I guess we're in this too deep now. Everything's going to the shitter. We hadn't even started yet. The path yet ahead is treacherous. Anyways, today's the final day of leaflet distribution before the live. It'll be our last chance to get attendees. We've got to do our very best. The girls agreed with uncertainty in their voices. Then let's head out with the remaining leaflets. With that, Sasami picked up a box of leaflets and marched out of the office. The rest of the girls followed after her. Nimu, did something really happen to her? A few minutes later, my cell beeped. I reached for it and turned it on. Could it be a message from Nimu? Instead, it turned out to be being a message from Sasami. Producer-san, come to Akiba Station police kiosk right away. There's trouble. The police? What could have happened? I immediately stood from my desk and ran out of the office. I arrived at the police kiosk as quickly as I could. I saw Sasami waiting for me with a worried expression on her face. Producer-san, over here! What happened? Julie-chan's been... Julie? Was she hurt? I burst into the kiosk. Producer-san. Relief came over me upon seeing her safe. What happened? Why are you all at the police kiosk? You wouldn't believe it. This fool groped my ass while I was on the train. Julie pointed to where a man was being questioned by police officers. Got caught by the morning rush hour and got separated in the packed train. Looks like that scum used the chance to cop a feel of Julie. To think such a thing could happen, I was so shocked. Sasami's eyes were on the verge of tears, as if she'd been the one groped. Are you alright, Watanabe-san? Well, I can't say I'm happy about it. Don't worry, I won't cause Producer-san any trouble by breaking down and crying or anything. Watanabe-san. There was a common saying that trouble comes in clusters. Given how today was turning out, I was starting to believe it. After the police collected everyone's testimonies and contact information, we left the police kiosk. What a way to begin the day. And we wasted so much time in there, too. Well, we still have time. Let's all... We approached the station exit, only to see that it was now pouring rain. Look at all that rain! There was no way we were going to hand out leaflets in that kind of weather. I looked at my cell and saw messages from the other team at Shinjuku. That they had to take shelter as well. The team was gathered in the office, while rain and wind continued to pound against the window. Listen to this. I was totally groped by an old geezer on the train today. And it was all for nothing, because in the end we couldn't even distribute the rest of the leaflets. So that kind of thing really does happen in the city? And of course. This is actually the 7th time it's happened to me. 7? Boy, I've lived in Tokyo my whole life and I've only been groped twice. Well, I guess it just can't be helped. Excuse me. It's because Julie-chan always dresses like a super bitch, eh? What are you saying, you dumb bumpkin? Yeah, that's not really the proper response. Aki looked at me, not caring about, or at all about the other girl's discussion. Producer-san, any word from Nimu? Nothing yet. What's that booby monster doing? Aki began to pace back and forth in the office, adding to the tense atmosphere. Thanks to the inclement weather and Nimu's disappearance, we lost the motivation to work and merely spoke nervously to each other in the office as time ticked by. The windows rattled as thunder and wind roared outside. Aki finally stopped pacing. I think we should practice a new choreography with just 6 members. Aki-chan, calm down. Nimu's only been gone for a few hours. It's not like she's turned in a letter of resignation. Besides, redoing all the dance steps 2 days before the live just isn't possible. But what if she's really... Didn't you hear what Producer-san said? With the way things are, it's obvious Nimu won't be able to perform with us. We've got to move on. We can't all go down with her. Aki-chan's wrong. Starnova won't be complete without all 7 members. We're not going to perform unless all of us are here. Just how naive can you be? Listen, this isn't one of those fluffy idol animes where everything's guaranteed to end happily. If the world was a perfect place, people wouldn't even need to watch anime to escape from reality in the first place. We gotta survive. It's eat or be eaten. Both of you, calm down. Today's not even the live and you amateurs are already this rattled. You're not allowed to panic until one of the members are missing hours before the live. This is luxurious. I'm not worried at all. Let's not fight, people. Seriously. This day just keeps getting worse and worse by the minute. Whatever. It's obvious nothing's going to be accomplished. I'm leaving. Julie-chan? You understand, don't you, Producer-san? I got molested today. I'm taking the rest of the day off. Alright, I understand. Then see you guys later. This is... Just as Julie stood to leave, the door to the office flung open. It's Nimu! With crazy eyes. Excuse me. Nimu wandered into the office, her hair dripping with rain. What happened? Quick, get her dried up. Yeah. Mariah ran into the break room and grabbed a handheld dryer and a towel. Nimu, what happened? Producer-san, everything's alright now. I finally took care of everything. You don't have to worry about a thing. Nimu is happy. She didn't, like, kill her mom or something, did she? That would certainly be a twist. But, yeah. Okay. Yeah! Alright, guys. This game is taking a turn. Out of nowhere, Nimu drew a knife. Ah! Eh? Everyone, get back! I leaped from my desk and jumped for Nimu. A massive spurt of red hit the table. What, am I playing Fate Stay Night all of a sudden? What's going on? How did everything turn out this way? All I wanted, was to become an idol producer. And yet, to think I would hit such a bad ending so soon. As if! Natan helped herself to a hearty dose of ketchup, absolutely pouring it all over her fries. You got ketchup all over the table, you dork! I see what you did there. I sat in the break room, eating a McDonald's meal along with the rest of the team. Thanks to the girls' hunger hitting them all at once after finding out Nimu was safe, I had to run to the nearest McDonald's in the storm and order enough food to feed 8 people. Yeah. Good thing P-kun brought us a lot of spare ketchup. So, now that we finally have something to eat, would you mind explaining everything? So, like, how much of what we saw was actually real? Like, not her drawing the knife, obviously, but was her walking in with crazy eyes and being like, everything's alright now? Did that actually happen? Or did she just wander in, and from there it was just kind of like, haha, psych. Oh well. My younger brother accidentally fell off the monkey bars at school this morning, and so I had to attend to him at the hospital. But thankfully, he was not seriously hurt. I would have contacted the office right away, but while I was flustered getting to the hospital, I dropped my cell phone into a puddle of water. I apologize to everyone for the trouble I've caused. See? I told you guys were worried for nothing. That you guys were worried for nothing. I'm just glad Nimu's younger brother is alright. But to think she would drop her cell phone and break it immediately after getting summoned to his middle school on a medical emergency. It's quite unlucky, eh? Seriously, this whole day's been filled with nothing but shit luck. It's a bad omen for the live, eh? No. Better that we absorb all our bad luck now than be hit with an unfortunate circumstance on the day of. By the way, a certain Loli was all gloom and doom, wasn't she? Wouldn't it have been awkward if Nimonu walked into the dance studio only to see that we had already written her off, huh? Well, you just have to prepare for the worst case scenario. That way, if you're pleasantly surprised when things turn out better than expected, and if they don't, you're prepared to meet the crisis head on. Yeah. Mika opened her box of Big Whack. Big Whack. And struggled with the large burger. What is this strange concoction? Could this be the cuisine of the folk of the light? Oh, wait, don't tell me you've never eaten a McDonald's before. Even if you're like a like basically a complete night owl otaku, how could you not have had McDonald's, right? I know nothing of food services which do not offer home delivery. Perhaps the burger is too big for you. Nimu once again drew her knife and held it in front of her. So that's gonna be like Nimu's kind of like comedy quirk. Is like basically, haha, she's a psycho, but really not, but maybe she is. Anyway. Yeah. Mika and the rest of the girls sitting near Nimu instinctively squirreled away as Nimu looked at the innocent burger with a malevolent sneer. What's wrong, everyone? Just as quickly, Nimu's face returned to normal as she blinked curiously. Nimu turned out to be an unexpectedly scary person. You see? I told you so! Why do you carry around a knife with you anyways? You mean Gunter-kun? She has a name for it? Don't worry, Gunter-kun is a refined gentleman from Germany. He wouldn't harm a fly. Why does the knife have a personality? Nimue dropped the knife onto the big whack, cleaving it cleanly in half. Yeah! There you go. Thank you. Nimue wiped her knife with a handkerchief and put it back into her purse. By now, the girls were clustered in a half circle around my side of the table, leaving a 2-foot radius around Nimue. Nimue looked on in confusion as to why the other girls were clustered around me. However, that confusion quickly turned to dangerous anger. Yes! Could it be that you've been hitting on the other girls without my knowledge? No. I'm everyone's producer, for crying out loud. I treat all my talents fairly. Ha! Then why is everyone trying to bunch around you like you're the most popular guy at the school cafeteria? Who, me? No way! Aki-chan still calls me a loser, and Julie-chan still gives me 3 dirty looks a day. Definitely no abundance of love here. Oi. Huh. Then good. Otherwise, Nimue will be disappointed. Understood! An incredible aura emanated from Nimue just now. Finally, I understood. Excuse me. The other day, Mrs. Akimoto had mentioned that Nimue possessed a certain condition. Yes, a condition afflicting otherwise beautiful and talented girls recently. On the surface, they appeared perfect, a mature and beautiful bastion of tranquility. However, underneath, they were swirling hurricanes of paranoia and jealousy. A character type known as Yandere. Producer-san? Do you think you could die? Eh? For these lovely French fries? They have exactly the right amount of salt to them. A lady such as myself so rarely indulges in food such as this. Quite exquisite, simply to kill for. The other girls cringed in fear. Mariah grabbed a cherry pie from the bag. Hey, anybody want to share? This whole thing's too much for me. Why don't we each take a piece? Then... Nimue once again drew her knife with blood in her eyes. Yeah. Nimue brought her knife down on the pie and sliced it into 7 pieces. A spurt of red cherry flew and splattered against Nimue's face. They are laying it on thick. I mean, it's pretty funny. I gotta admit, but... Alright. Alright, so Nimue went full nuts in one scene. Like, before now, they were just like, okay, here's some tiny little sprinkles of hints of, maybe Nimue's not quite right. And then now they're like, just put it out there. Just do it. Sorry, I think I was talking too loud into the mic there. I'm gonna scoot it back a little. Now everything's peaceful again. It's all good, don't worry about it. By the time the storm passed, everyone looked exhausted, despite having accomplished nothing the whole day. I don't know why I'm so tired. Ugh. My back's so tense. Can't believe we wasted the whole day. Whatever. Let's go home. Let's work harder tomorrow. Ara, why is everyone so down? Oi, it's all 'cause of your knife. Leave something scary like that at home. Mariah. Sasami and Julie held Mariah back, lest she appeared on the news as a stabbing victim. Nimue only blinked cluelessly. Whatever. I've got work. Let's all take things easy. Come back tomorrow feeling refreshed and ready for the live. Sasa-chan's got a point. Oh. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm gonna need a pretty long bath tonight after all this happened. Thanks for working hard. With that, the girls left the office for the day. And so our fears of Nimue having to quit the team were replaced with a very unexpected, different fear that day. Yes, that day the girls of Starnova received a grim reminder. Nimue was a scary person. Wow. Alrighty, so we have one more day before the live, I think? The day before our first live arrived, sure enough. Alright. Oh, wow. That was half an hour? Feels like I've been recording for like 10 minutes. Okay, we'll run through one more scene. I entered the dance studio to perform one last check on the girls' performance. I assume the demo will end with the first live at this point, which I'm surprised that the demo is this long, to be frank. I mean, I'm enjoying it, so no complaints here, but wow, they really give you a decent amount to this demo. After a month of backbreaking work, the girls had finally coalesced into a unit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 7 girls of Starnova counted together as they danced in sync to the beat. After a while, the dance choreography concluded. Aki came running to me. Well, how is it? I can tell you guys have been practicing. You've come a long way since we began. Well, I wouldn't say we're any good right now. In fact, everything about this is pretty poor considering we're supposed to be performing on the professional level. But at least we can dance in sync without crashing into each other. Oh, by the way, I never decided anything about the team formation. Did you girls figure out who is going to be the center amongst yourselves? Well, this time we just decided based on who worked in the industry longest. So Mariah's the center, with me and Sasami as her wings. But that's obviously just for this time. After this, the competition's gonna get real. Aki's personality flipped. So hurry up and pick Aki-chan as the center, Oni-chan! As if sniffing that Aki was up to no good, the rest of the girls arrived. What's this about a center? I'm just telling producer-san the center of Starnova should obviously go to the one with the biggest motivation to win. What are you saying? That doesn't make a lick of sense. The center usually goes to the girl with the most experience, doesn't it? It's obvious that the center has to be the best-looking girl on the team. Ara, then could that be me? Nimue proudly puffed up her chest. Put those away, you booby yandere monster. Tits like that have gone out of style ages ago. Ah, but Natan thought the center led the dance, so the girl with the strongest body has to be the center. At last, the moment has come. The climactic center battle! Oh, Black Knight, let this humble one take the reins from here, for it is I who hold the biggest fan appeal. You merely adopted the weeb, but this one was born into it, molded by it. By the weeb. Okay, you got me, Mika. You can be the center. Shut up, Chuni-chan. Besides, both your dancing and singing are shit. From a practical perspective, she's totally right. Like, she would obviously be the weakest link, but Mika's, like, by far my favorite. So, I wonder if that's something we'll actually have a say in. I very much doubt that we'll have a say in who ends up being the center, because, you know, it seems like that sort of decision would have to be fairly early in the game. Who knows? I don't have a scope for how big the units can actually grow throughout the game, but if they are supposed to become like a big deal, a big sensation, then the center has to be decided pretty quickly. But anyway, I digress. Everyone, the center is for producer-san to decide. Even though we may be rivals, we're teammates before all that. So let's forget about that and work together as friends. Acting like you're the leader already, all while disguising your words as well-intentioned niceties. Lamb's grown horns too, eh? Face it, you want to be the center just as much as any of us. Ugh, Sasami's pulling a damn Honoka on me. No, I have no idea what you mean. The girls backed me into a wall and stared me down, doing poses all the while. Herc, Girls! Oni-chan. She's making her case for me. Experience is what counts. Visual. Bounce. Fan appeal. Just Yahoo, huh? Producer-san's in quite a pickle, eh? My eyes spun in bewilderment as 7 girls looked at me with a combination of batting eyelashes, veiled threats, and unrealistic expectations. I just remembered. I have to confirm our live with the venue owner one last time. With that, I pushed the girls out of the way and power walked back to the office. He ran away. Ran away, eh? What a slippery one, that pecan. Whew. I barely managed to get out of there in one piece. I heard from a jaded female executive once that feminism could never win because women were too competitive against each other. And based on what I just saw, I was starting to believe it. A room full of girls all wanting to be number one was truly a scary thing. Center battle, huh? It was the biggest drama behind every idol group. Who got to be the number one? The center naturally received the lion's share of media attention, as well as lucrative promotional deals with businesses of every stripe. So being the center brought both great wealth and fame. Naturally, the two things that every idol craved. Indeed, countless idol groups collapsed due to infighting and jealousy amongst the members. While competition and rivalries were only expected, I had to make sure that certain boundaries were respected. For now, though, it seemed like we were getting ahead of ourselves. First, we had to become popular enough for any of that to matter. I leaned back on my chair. Center, huh? I wonder who I should pick. The end of the day arrived. I entered the dance floor and greeted the girls. The girls were doubled over panting, exhausted from a long day at practice. The time's finally come, eh? Producer-san, thank you for your hard work. The girls picked themselves up and gathered around me. How are things? Do you feel ready? Ready as I can be. It would have been nice if we had more time, but I guess we can't keep rubbing our tires on the road forever. Alright, let's do this. It's too late to look back now. It's going to be the real thing from tomorrow on. Everyone. Even though it's just been 5 weeks since I became your producer, I feel as if we've been together for a lot longer. It may not have been a long time, but we've all gone through countless trials together. They say people count time not merely as the passage of hours, but as a measure of the different experiences we've lived through. I don't know to what degree that holds true, but I definitely feel as though we've all gone through a year's worth of experiences this past month. At first, none of you expected anything to come out of this. We're all washed-up members of the idol industry, or total newbies. We all had our doubts. We were cynical and jaded. But throughout the past 5 weeks, we've all come together to make this live a success. So let's remember, we are Starnova. Stars who may have faded out before. People might say that we're cracked and battered up now, that we have no future in the idol industry. The stars never die. At the end of their lifespans, in a brilliant flash, they're reborn anew. And that's who we are. I'm not going to say, regardless of how things turn out, let's all be happy we lived out our youths, or anything like that. No. Because we are going to be successful. This is merely the first step to our journey to become the greatest idol group in the country. There's only one outcome that will be satisfied with. When Starnova's songs shine so brilliantly that the night becomes day and all other stars in the cosmos vanish to our light. Man, he really wrote out the speech, didn't he? We are Starnova. We are Starnova. This is just our beginning. In the end, I may have merely made a fool out of myself shouting like that and talking so big when I was merely the formerly unemployed producer of an unknown idol group. But a fire burned inside of me. A fire that told me I had to become the greatest idol producer of all time, even if everyone else sneered at my dreams. And that same fire burned inside each of the girls before me. We all had our festering doubts. Sometimes the pain of having failed to live up to our expectations was so great We wanted to dig into our own chests and tear our hearts out. That was only all the more reason to work harder. Even though we might look like fools, the only route where failure was certain was to have never tried at all. What are you doing, getting all fired up? Well, I guess even producer-san can act like a proper guy every now and then. Only every now and then, though, okay? Idiot, don't get so full of yourself. Our armies stand ready, Black Knight. Let us ride on to battle, where our destinies await. Producer-san really is quite a man, isn't he? Nah, let's see if he can actually deliver before saying too much. Alright, let's rest up and stay safe. Tomorrow, everyone needs to be in their top form. Oh! After changing back into their clothes, the girls walked out of the dance studio. Like last time, Nimu's ride was waiting for her. Looks like I'd best be off. Same here. Gotta head to work. Me too. Then I'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Bye-bye. Are you going home too, producer-san? Me? I've got some more work to do. Producer-san's always working so hard for us, isn't he? It's alright, I'm just doing my job. Besides, none of our dreams will come true if we're not willing to work for it. Producer-san's got a point. Alright. Maybe I can give Producer-san a back massage as an award after the live. Herc! Sasa-chan, you're being way too honest here. Or something. Then I'll see you tomorrow, Producer-san. Okay, see you tomorrow. After Sasami left, I returned to the office and worked until nighttime. Meanwhile, Sasami crashed into her bed. I wonder if we'll be able to become idols now. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to sing in front of other people. Maybe it was because my parents owned a karaoke bar, but whenever I grabbed the microphone and sang in front of other patrons, I would be so happy when everyone clapped for me. Of course, everyone only clapped because I was a little girl at the time. Ever since then, I've wanted to become an idol. Alright, this time I won't fail. Together with Producer-san, I'll finally accomplish my dreams. Okay, yeah, we're doing a montage of all the girls. Julie walked through the crowded streets. She smiled confidently as she turned every set of male eyes to her direction as she walked by. At times, the attention she received from the opposite sex thanks to her looks was the only happiness she had in life. Ever since that man walked out on us, I've gotten in so much shit. That bastard, leaving Mama and I alone in that country. I was never that smart. Honestly, I don't really understand much of what I read in books. Everyone made fun of me for not being able to read kanji. But at least I can be confident in my looks. Some kids are just born smart, while some kids are born pretty. In the end, we just gotta use the talents we're born with to make a living. Well, that's not accounting for effort, but hey, I see what you're saying. Nimu arrived at her mansion. Her father was waiting for her in the dining room. Welcome back, Nimu. Father, I have returned home. Nimu, there's something I've always been meaning to tell you. Yes? Your mother. Please try to understand her. While she does not show it, she still loves you dearly. Truly? Father, I already know that she is not my birth mother. Nimu, I am sorry. How could she ever love the daughter of another woman? Haruna is not a petty woman. She is intelligent and hardworking, having gone from merely a production assistant to president in a little over a decade. She's merely doing what she believes to be best for you. Eh? Mika carefully took out her most prized figurine. I'm going to take a look at her figures real quick. Okay, so we've got the Sunrider stuff. Is that Chigara over there? That's Kaito. That's definitely Chigara. I can't tell who that is. Yeah, I just don't know some of these. That's Fontana from Star Rider, or Sunrider rather. Don't know the reference there. That's Claude. Don't know who that girl is. Yeah, okay. And it's also Fontana. She's got a body pillow and then a pizza box. Otaku indeed. Mika carefully took out her most prized figurine. A black opera Sylvia night song figurine that she had blown a year's worth of allowance to purchase. A year? Jeez, girl. That truly was a bleak year, when she had to subside only on convenience store ramen for a year to make ends meet. But the incredible detailing of the figurine, every single bolt accurately molded on the heaven's piston, the immaculate facial work, and the dynamic pose of Sylvia delivering the finishing blow in Season 2, Episode 24. An enormous grin appeared on Mika's face. Merely looking at the figurine made the year-long suffering worth it. Mika returned the figurine to the display case and gazed proudly at it. This time I, Hashimoto Mika, too shall become a member of the night. Agents of the light beware, for I shall break your tyranny. Our songs will echo through the night. Aki returned to her apartment. I'm back. Aki? Her mother was passed out on the table, a bottle of sake in front of her. Ugh, that's depressing. What are you doing? Didn't I tell you not to drink too much? Oh. I'm sorry, Aki. Don't worry. Do you hate Mommy for what she did to you? Obviously not. Listen here. If I hadn't been an idol, we'd be out on the streets by now instead of living like this. Aki's gonna be an idol again, so Mama doesn't have to worry. This time, I'm going to win. By the time I retire, I'm gonna be so rich that Aki and Mommy can live like royalty for the rest of our lives. I see. Then, Mommy will be waiting. It won't be long now. That's kind of sobering. Definitely gives you a different perspective on Aki there. Natsuki finished typing an email for back home. She pressed the send button and put on her hard hat. Sha! Now let's get cracking. The site manager gave her a hearty greeting. Oh, Natan's looking energetic today, isn't she? Of course, because starting tomorrow, Natan's gonna be a real Tokyo idol. Ah, really? Of course, I expect Ol-san and the rest of the guys to be there to cheer me on. Ha! The site manager pulled out a stack of tickets to the live house from his coat. We've already got you covered. Alright. You better work hard tonight. You might be becoming an idol, but until you properly turn in your letter of resignation, you're still one of my crew. Sa. Mariah reported in for another night of work at the hostess bar. Looks like Baldy's back as usual. Better not get too drunk, though. Can't show up for the live smashed, or else. Memories flashed by in her head. Wild drinking parties where senpais poured pitchers of beer down the throats of new recruits. Girls slipping in pills and God knows what else into drinks. Just thinking about it makes me want to puke. This time, I can't let it end the same way. Starnova will be different. Yeah, that's very underhanded. She wrapped an apron around her and manned her station. About 4 shots in, Baldy wrapped his arm around Mariah. It's awfully touchy-feely today. The women of today need to learn their place. What happened to the great nation of Nippon? Government and mass media are nothing more than lapdogs of the West. Chinese encroachment to the East, Russian aggression to the West, and nothing but cowardice from our politicians. We bow to Beijing. We bow to Seoul. We bow to Washington. No wonder then that Japan's economy is in recession, and our territory is being snatched under our noses. Rawr! The men of this nation have lost their national spirit. They're now whipped by their women and hide in their rooms. Pathetic! Mariah pretended to nod in agreement and smiled. It's too bad, isn't it? Well, that's why Ohara-san's so cool. Baldy pulled out a cigar and put it into his mouth. After Mariah lit it, he belched a thick cloud of smoke into her face. Jeez. Huh. At least there's some good things left in this world. Mariah's body froze when the little middle-aged salaryman reached into her skirt and ran his hand between her legs. Oi! Don't worry, girl. I'll make this worth your while. Shock turned to revulsion, which turned to fury. I'm not that kind of woman. In a burst of indignation, Mariah grabbed a glass of whiskey and splashed its contents upon the man's face. Oh boy. What? You bitch! She spun around and ran into the storeroom as the man screamed for the management at the top of his lungs. Mariah screwed open a bottle of vodka and poured it down her mouth. Shit-eaters. They can all go to hell. Fucking shit-eaters. Her boss burst into the storeroom, his face red with fury. You, what have you done? Mariah merely chugged the bottle in defiance. She stood and faced him while he was too stunned for words. Hey boss, I quit. I'm blowing this joint. Mariah tore off her apron and chucked it to the floor before storming out of the establishment. What is with this? A group of 6 guys surrounded Julie all at once. Suddenly, it's just like Night of the Perverts? Is it a fucking, like, red full moon or something? Anyway, alright. Hey babe, you're looking lonely. You want some company for the night? The 6 of us are trying to form a band, haha! Why don't we all sing karaoke? Sorry boys, I'm busy tonight. She turned to leave, but realized that 3 other guys had circled around behind her and cut off her escape. What's the matter? Let's have some fun. Don't worry. Besides, if it's a date, the guys will pay for everything. Or the guy pays for everything, right? You don't have to be scared. Persistent what? Suddenly, one of the boys grabbed her wrist. Come on. Hey, what? Natan stood beside a truck-mounted crane as it raised a bundle of steel pipes to the 5th floor of the yet unfinished building. All right. Unknown to her, someone had forgotten to perform the maintenance check on one of the 4 cables running from the pallet, holding the pipes to the crane's main hook. The cable's connection to the pallet began to tear above her. Suddenly, the sharp sound of a steel cable snapping cracked through the night. Natan looked up, only to see the pallet lose its stability. Watch out! The old site manager sprang into action and dived on top of Natan exactly as the steel pipes tore loose from the pallet and rained down below. Jeez, man. Just like horrible things everywhere. Nimu's eyes narrowed in disdain when Haruna entered the room. I'm back. Welcome back, Haruna-san. Welcome back, my dear. Oh, by the way, Nimu, I've got an opportunity for you. One of my colleague's assistants will be getting married this month. He's looking for a replacement. I could put in a good word for you. I'm sorry, I decline. I see. Why? Why do you continue down this path? You're already too old to be an idol. Do you want to be used for 2 or 3 years and then dumped out with no future? Kojiro raised his hands. Well, Nimu is a grown woman now. We can't be making decisions for her. Dear, you're always too lax with our daughter. I want to be an idol. I don't know why, but it's what I was born to do. Silence! Nimu's eyes turned cold. An ugly woman like Haruna-san wouldn't understand what it means to be an idol. What? Nimu! I won't waste another word on this nonsense. I'm going to be an idol, and nothing you say can stop me. You, insolent girl, you have no idea how this world works. Aki's mother gripped her daughter's shoulders. I see. So Aki-chan's finally going to be an idol again. You'll do well, won't you? Of course I will. I made some stupid mistakes last time because I was inexperienced, but this time I know the ropes already. Your mother's so happy, Aki-chan. She's proud you'll be an idol again. To tell the truth, your mother's in quite a bit of trouble. But none of that'll matter if Aki-chan becomes an idol again. Wow. So she's using her. You'll bring Mommy home lots of money again, won't you? You'll make the both of us happy again, won't you? That's the idea. Aki-chan will save Mommy again. Aki-chan will always be Mommy's #1 idol. I'll be #1. Mika's inside suddenly plunged. Why? Fears began to grip her heart. The live would be in front of other people, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's kind of part of it. Could she really sing and dance in front of hundreds of fans? Until recently, she'd never even spoken to anyone outside of her family, much less performed in front of others. Maybe it was only because of the others' enthusiasm that she had momentarily forgotten her fears, but Mika knew they were different from her. They were all pretty good at socializing. They could read the mood and appeal to emotions, but Mika had an overwhelmingly plain body, and her hair was a disheveled mess all the time. Her head began to spin, and she had to sit down on her bed. What am I doing? Trying to be an idol. Her head had been in the clouds. She was just looking away from the truth. Painful memories of her school days played. Pages upon pages of her paper in her locker, all with the words "shit otaku" sprawled over them. All the popular girls snickering at her as she slumped by. Why am I trying to be popular now? I don't need to fit in with them. Reality can go to hell. Mika pulled the blanket over her. I'm just a shit otaku. There's no way I can be an idol. She'd forgotten all this time. The truth she'd always accepted. Or if she accepted it, all she had to do was keep her head down and remain a shut-in. She was just a human failure. Sasami stood from her bed, suddenly wide awake. A sudden dark premonition had come over her. In her dream, she was wandering through the empty halls of the Golden Calf offices. Hands reached out for her clothes. Voices sneered at her. But what distraught her most was, in that dream, she didn't seem particularly fazed by the assault on her modesty. In fact, for some reason, she wanted the hands to tear off her clothes. The hallways turned to an enormous stage, where hundreds of thousands of people were watching. Sasami had been taken to the stage. She had no idea whether she was still clothed or not. But she wanted everyone to see her naked. She wanted everyone to know how beautiful she was. So she's a bit of a narcissist deep down. In her heart of hearts. Interesting. What an off-putting dream. It was just a dream. I shouldn't think too much about it. But for some reason, her heart was pounding and thoughts were racing through her head. I wonder if I'll feel like this before every live. She looked out the window. The distant sound of an ambulance echoed throughout the city. I wonder how everyone else is doing. Well, not so good, from what we just saw. I kept typing away on my computer. I was really burning the midnight oil now. But I couldn't afford to rest. Not when everyone else was giving it their all. Suddenly, my computer stopped responding. I clicked the mouse a few times and tapped the keyboard. No feedback. I threw my hands in the air. Shit! I couldn't believe it. My computer froze. And that's the producer problem. So everything went wrong. Awesome. Alright. And it's the day of the live. So we are going to end today's episode here. Wow, that was a long one. So, that was interesting. There is definitely a lot of problems to contend with. Can't see this live going particularly well, given what we just saw, but we'll take a peek in the next episode. So as always, thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you all next time.